So my guests are here. I have Emmanuel Chamantinge Jakong. He's a member of parliament for Ayawaso West Wagon and the chairman for NDC Greater Accra, Josephine Adekuka. I like saying Josephine Yemo Adekuka, but Yemo is a family name in Labadi. So then you are not careful. But he is the chairman for NDC Greater Accra, unofficial cabinet position. Chairman one. How are you?
What you chairman?
Chairman.
Pips.
Pips. I'm talking about pips. Where you people have been wearing pips these days? Military pips. Okay, so let's look at. We're just looking at an issue with Irasa Asaridonko corresponding in the Ashanti region. And I have to start with you. If you look at the local government structure and the difficulties sometimes we tend to have, especially, let's say you have NDC now in power, and you have MPP, the biggest, its stronghold, Ashanti. It seems that the local governance structure it brings a lot of disagreements when it comes to the proposals or whoever you propose to be nominated at the assembly level. If you are government in power, difficult for you.
It's very true. Let me say good morning to yourself and my brother. We went on an earlier show for coming here. I think we have to revisit this local government and assembly concept. But even within NDCs, let's say strongholds, we have the same problem. When you put up a DC or a presiding member, you have to go through hell to have that person a nomination accepted.
Why?
Right? Because it has become, I mean, I don't know, but everybody wants to be either a presiding member or a DC. That's the next level to go to parliament. You know, people use that as a springboard to go to become a parliamentarians. You know, and it's something that is worrying, that whether we should go the partisan way, that elections are held for the presiding members just like any other. You know, when the time is due for assembly members to be elected, people who want to be presiding members should also go and seek the mandate of the people outside the assembly. And then DCs as well. I mean, we've done this for about 20, 30 years. And sometimes it's good to sit back, look at the system, see how best you can refine it to forestall what you were showing this morning. You know, people are accusing people of being corrupt, and people are being accused of having to pay money for them to be accepted. And then when they go there, they'll tell you, I gave you money before you voted for me. So that's the end of the story. So we need to revisit the whole concept and see how best we can forestall these nuances, I would say. Because for a place like Ashanti region, and like you earlier said,
like in Kumasi.
The Kumasi, the stronghold of the NPP, it will be extremely difficult for a government appointee coming from the NDC
to be easily approved.
To be easily approved. And that has happened for the past 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years since we've been there. That is what happens there. Kojo Bonso had to suffer even before being accepted as a mayor. He had to go through a lot of machinations. So I believe that we should look at the concept again to put an end to this KM fights over PM again, and look at the picture. Presiding member, what kind of power does he wield such that his appointment becomes a brawl in the assembly? I don't think it's the best.
Now, somebody who knows the assembly system very well, has been in it before, has been a district assembly member, is himself.
Yeah, he's himself. Yeah, he's been there.
Who? You. Yeah. So what we're experiencing in KMA, what really is perhaps the underground issue, so to speak?
I don't want us to just. I think we must, and I want to emphasize it. We must only use KMA as a case in point.
Okay.
I am ex-officio at the AMA now, and
you don't have that problem.
We are going through the same thing, except that it probably didn't come up to fisticuffs. I don't know. Maybe it did, but it might have happened on my plant side. For me, it's just underscores the point that the structure we are running is defective. Maybe it worked in 1986 when there was a non-partisan.
We brought this in 1988.
Yeah,
non-partisan.
Yeah, when it was non-partisan. But really and truly, I think anybody that speaks to this matter clearly says that the local government, the structures below the national structures, which is the local government structures, must really be run on partisan basis. I can't see how you want to run parliament on partisan lines, and then when it comes to the substructure, you think that it can be different.
Which is kind of quasi, kind of just structured around the legislative principle.
It is I think it is just
hypocritical of us.
Very hypocritical. We are just playing ostriches. That is all. Because the reality is that I have been an assemblyman before. First, I was an appointed assemblyman. I became an elected assemblyman. I've been a presiding member of a district assembly for like 6 or 7 years. Everything that happens in the assembly is partisan. Everything. Today in AMA, the mayor is NDC parliamentary candidate for Ablekuma South. Are you telling me that Dr. Kumadapo is not partisan? He is extremely partisan. The presiding member of the assembly is the regional youth organizer for NDC. So why are we deceiving ourselves? Why are we tickling ourselves and laughing? Okay. So look, I think that these are clear signs, these are clear indications that we must go back and revisit this non-partisan nature of the assemblies. It will only grow worse. It will only get worse if we don't correct it.
I guess Professor Hoy needs to take a real look at what they all put together. But how does this dovetail into the proposition, which I know has now also dominated the electioneering messages or discussions about the election of the district assembly, chief executives, etc.
Yeah. You see, you look at best practices all over the world. The mayors of Chicago, San Francisco, you name them. When Christian in the United Kingdom, mayor of London,
is elected.
It's elected.
Now we have Khan now.
You have Khan now, and even that is even very interesting. If you look at the dynamics in the world that is from a certain religious background, he's been able to be elected. You see, so like my brother is saying, we have to revisit. I believe that maybe I want to run for the mayor of his constituency. Is this what the name? So Ayawaso what?
West. Ayawaso West.
There's a sub-district.
Yeah, Ayawaso.
Sub-metro.
Yeah.
You see, maybe I would like to run for the mayor of that place when I retire. You know, to contribute. Yeah, you know. So I think because it's going to get worse. Look, like I said earlier on.
Is it because
to get the mayor or the DC to be accepted, if you want government has nominated that person, the hell we go through.
But do you think, if let's say a mayor or a district chief executive or a metropolitan chief executive or a municipal one, or that position is up for participation by independent people, political parties, etc., we will at least curtail some of these disciplines?
Yeah, because you have the mandate of the people. That's the important thing. Here, you don't have a group of guys meeting
with like minds.
Meeting in one room and decide that we are voting for. You have a whole gamut of people vote, so you have a mandate of the people. So what you are doing, and also you probably have your own manifesto that you want to achieve or perform based on that you were elected. You see, so it becomes more interesting, and you'll be surprised maybe. Despite your political background, people in that area, right, regardless of what political party they belong to, will vote for you because they find in you a person who probably can champion their cause. You know, so I don't think we should be afraid of. When we do this, then we understand ourselves.
Do you think it's because of fear?
The fear is that they have certain committees like security committees and those committees which people feel that if you are from another divide, and you are the chairman of the Security Council. So if these things are going to become a problem, you win them out of the jurisdiction by Look,
or the jurisdiction or the authority of the elected person.
Exactly. They can be independent. Well, we can look at it
in a different way. I think that your suggestions to it is always, because then the logical question I wanted to ask with, just hold on with what you want. You may add to it after my question. Liman faced a certain problem. He didn't have, I think he didn't have the consensus of a certain parliament, so he didn't get his budget adequately approved.
Actually.
No, eventually. By his own people. He didn't have the consensus. I'm not saying that he didn't have a majority or that. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Now, let's take a scenario in which the NDC is in power. We have elections going on in this, and then Ashanti region is a stronghold of the MPP. And we shouldn't kid ourselves, just like the Volta region and elsewhere is for the other party as well. How can we envisage governance to be like? Let's say we have a chief executive of KMA, not who should not have been Kojo Bonsu, but somebody who aligns himself with the MPP, but is elected and then serves Kumasi very well.
I don't know.
How will his own plans dovetail into the national or the party route? That's.
You see, I just let me try to tackle this first. Ade was making reference to if you are the mayor of KMA and you are,
or even let's say AMA,
or you are chairman, and so you are chairman of the Metropolitan Security Committee. Is security a political issue? No, it shouldn't be a political issue. If somebody is a thief, he's a thief. If somebody is causing trouble, that person, the trouble must not wear political colors. Okay.
No, you're talking about the appropriateness. What is ideal?
To the extent that there are clearly defined rules. Nobody or are we saying that in governance at a national level, security matters are determined solely on political basis? No, I don't think so. Maybe sometimes there may be a political twist. Maybe, I don't know. But I think that when people put themselves up for elections with a clear manifesto and they tell the people what they can do, okay, they will be voted for. And really, like he's saying, I mean, I have met a couple, and not just a few, a number of NPP activists who are assembly members in the Volta region. Because the people, they live with the people know that in spite of the fact that Toby Kashi is NPP, he is a darling boy in the town.
area.
You understand?
That's true.
And people begin to look for competence sometimes beyond the partisan.
Yeah.
I think that my own view, my own hypothesis on this matter is that if we allow this, indeed, it will begin to have effect at the national level. At the moment, this divide, strict divide of I am NPP, I am NDC, affects virtually everything we do in this country, and it's not good. I think we must create space. People talk about a winner takes all thing. I think all of this, you see, because the president gets elected sometimes by a margin of 30,000 votes, okay, and then it is up to him to appoint all the MMDCEs. In doing this, his consideration has nothing to do, sometimes, and I choose my words advisedly, his consideration has nothing to do with competence. It is, let us just put the party people there.
It's loyalty.
It becomes a job for the boys kind of a thing. But I want to believe that if this is opened up, you would find out that I don't even want to use Ashanti region. Even in Accra, it might turn out that the mayor might be an MPP person.
But he's competent.
Because he ran on his own steam, and the good people in Accra decided that we like Ashimashi. You understand me? So I think that what we are operating now is a farce. It is all of us are operatives there. Before you become an assemblyman, you probably need to pay money to people. Before you become a presiding member, it is. I don't like what I went through to become a presiding member. you know, with no consideration whatsoever for whether the man is competent or incompetent. Sometimes I ask about what is happening behind me, and I get surprised. Just a few days ago, I was asking, so, you know, no one say, are we saying that we can't find anybody to be presiding member?
But it's because they don't have the consensus.
No, there is a presiding member. There is somebody, they told me that somebody is a presiding member. I couldn't believe that that person is a presiding member.
Where Ashanti region?
No, Kumasi, you know, he was...
so it's not about your place.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
But that's where he was, the assembly
I'm with
member.
him now.
You know,
Look,
he's...
I think we should get serious with this matter.
Okay.
I think we really...
So my last question to you before we change the subject is about when you go to the UK or the US, for example, in the more developed democracies, as we tend to say, they tend to use some of these electable positions, and within the period tend to gauge the popularity of the ruling party, because usually it tends to happen mid-term and all that.
Yeah.
Is it that we have a certain phobia or fear that when we mainstream that or we do the alterations and then tend to have these positions electable, we have a certain fear that mid-term we're not popular, or perhaps MPP is not popular, NDC is not popular among the populace?
No, in those jurisdictions, people who go for those positions are members of a particular party. In the UK, Mr. Labour
yes,
Party,
I know.
Yeah. Here, I was looking at this. I'm looking at a situation where it can be partisan and non-partisan. You can have independent.
Yes, they're not going to run on parties. But the position that he holds is that they will be identified with parties indirectly, whether formally or informally.
Well,
currently,
now they are indirectly aligned.
Probably what we can do, what the system that we've got now, right? People run. We know they claim they are non-partisan, but we know where they are coming from, right? But then, if you are going to throw the whole thing to the larger public, right? I will say we can still experiment on how we elect our assemblymen on non-partisan basis. We can also elect our DCs, our PM
on the tag that it is non-partisan.
Exactly.
Even though we know that directly or indirectly they are linked to either party, but it's an elected
to forestall
position.
what the question you are asking me as to whether it will be a litmus test for whether the party is popular within a certain period of time. We gradually get there, but we should open up these particular positions which are very controversial. That's the PM and the DCs. These are positions that brings up the brawl. But when you are being elected as an assemblyman, that one is done outside there. There's no brawl there. But when it comes to the House to elect certain functionaries, that is where we should now put emphasis on. Bring that one back to the public domain, and let's see how it's going to play out. And eventually, we can then decide, look, let it be partisan as we move on. Yeah.
Well, I've loved this very conversation, and I hope that we get to that point where we elect our mayors or chief executive.
It will be very interesting. You know?
It will be very interesting.
It will be very interesting.
It will be very interesting. And I know that then we'll know that the country is not one-sided after all.
Exactly. I wouldn't mind if in Ashanti region, for instance, an NDC like-minded person
becomes a chief executive
by election
of a place.
Of a place.
Because it can't happen for KM.
Exactly.
Forget it.
You'll be surprised, like he said. If the gentleman is a darling boy,
it can't happen for KM. Forget about it.
You have even given up already.
Kumasi
we haven't started and you have even given up.
It can't happen. But the other conversation, you know, Nanado and the MPP, they've been preaching that when they come into office, this will be fully, we know we put together a commission for it. Yes. And then it was supposed to have been, but now when the white paper came from the presidency, it was that the president...
It's been watered down.
Yeah. The president rather will still propose people for them to be voted.
3 people to go
but it's not right. But that's not for the discussion, because the MPP is alleging that the governing NDC, that's your party, for which you're the Greater Accra chapter chairman,
regional chairman,
is buying votes in the run-up to the December elections. And they say you are doing this by doing this commissioning projects left, right, center, and giving out freebies, etc. A spokesperson for the flag bearer, who is also the parliamentary aspirant for Adenta, he addressed a press conference yesterday at the party's headquarters.
Yeah, I listened to him yesterday.
Oh, you did?
I did listen to him, and I said to myself, this is somebody wanting to outscore or outdo or challenge Fifi Kwete. I mean, that was the format. It's the same format. I mean, because Fifi Kwete has gone to set the record straight, my brother at Adenta also wants to come in and set the record straight from his perspective. You know, when has governance stopped? When governance, governance of a particular party stops 7 January when a new government has been elected. And even so, we are saying that government should be continuous. So when you come, you don't come and truncate what the other party has put in place, because it sends the country backwards. What is he talking about? What freebies? Look, the outboard motors, I've said it up 10 times. The farmers, they get free fertilizers, spraying, subsidized.
Have they always been getting that?
It is a government policy.
Even during the Kufuor period?
In time immemorial, Cocoa Board, that was how Cocoa Board was set up. The existence of Cocoa Board was to ensure that cocoa farmers or farmers in various categories are given certain level of assistance in their farming activities. The fishes industry. My auntie, God rest her soul, what's her name? Minister for Fisheries.
Right.
No.
Grace Asma.
Asma. She's my auntie, you know.
Yes. You've mentioned that before.
Exactly. Yes. She brought the policy of helping the farmer, the fishermen with this subsidized outboard motors policy. We continued it. So what's the problem? I believe that we as a people must stop this hypocritical behavior.
Oh, we are hypocrites.
Exactly. Most of the time, all of us. Recently, our friends, my brothers from other divine, were at Nima here, sharing wache and kuku. Did we say they are bribing the people there? If they felt, if they felt that what that is, Nima
It's a shaman, not one.
There was one at Nima here too.
I don't know about
that. Oh yeah, there was one at
also
Nima. There was one too at Nima.
One,
For me, they were doing a public service. I didn't find anything wrong with it.
It's part of the campaign.
I didn't find anything absolutely wrong with it at all. If that is what their campaigns, they feel that they need to help the downtrodden or people who at that moment of time wanted something to eat. I don't see that anything wrong about it. You know, in the US, right, on election day, there's something called the ground rule. The parties will hire buses, go to the homes of their supporters, put them in buses, feed them, and ask them to go and vote. If you don't do that, your people will sit in the house and do not go and vote.
Yeah, they go door to door and canvass and tell you, please, whatever it is you need. If you need help, yes.
I will help.
I've watched it on CNN and Al Jazeera.
It's a ground rule. So when you are saying you are bribing people, will you say in the almighty America, is it bribing? They go and they give them money. After you vote, they give you money to go back home.
No, there was one particular county, they brought a bus to the elderly, for example.
Every election. Now, I'm on the platform of Hillary Clinton, right? Hillary Clinton, I'm on the platform. And if I was in the US, I'll be a volunteer. They will give me a number of houses that on the day of the election, I should get my own vehicle, get whatever I need to get, and go and pick those people to go and vote and bring them back home. You see, so why is this part of the world? If my brother here decides that he's going to help his constituents to go and pay their school fees, and they come every day, is he bribing them? You see, so how can you term that one as not bribery, as that he's using his common fund to do a good job? But when it comes to the government giving outboard motors to fishermen and that kind of thing, you say that is bribery. I mean, let us.
That's not bribery.
It's not bribery.
The period of the election there's intensification of this sort of activity.
Why should that period of election?
Don't you think that period and the period at which you're doing it and the action in the cells will influence people?
The question I'm asking you, the previous year, were they not doing it? Because 2-3 years ago, they were still giving album.
Not at this space.
What's the difference between the period? When they were doing it, was it not part of governance?
Point made. Mr. Chimantin Ngejako, very interesting submission from him. What do you make of it? Because it happens, whether it's NPP or NDC, we see this very often.
What happens?
Oh, projects being long. Look, I have been a reporter before. London beaches. We've gone to inaugurate London beaches several times. And
when was this?
Oh, we've done that. In 2000, we went to Mumford, went to do so.
2001?
2008, and then during 2012 too, we've seen we went to do several inaugurations.
Okay,
but some of those things have not come to fruition.
I can completely understand that it is the responsibility of government, and that is the only reason why we vote. The responsibility of government is to ensure the well-being of the people, the security. When you talk about well-being, it is all embracing. So it is okay for government to be doing things. It is okay for government to be taking care of people. After all, there is LEAP that was brought in by the NPP. There is Maslock that was brought in by the NPP. There is name it. Okay. The strange thing, however, okay, is that if it is around elections, and then all of a sudden we're doing LEAP, we're giving this amount and covering this number of people, then all of a sudden in an election year, you decide that I will double the amount, I will quadruple the number of people who are getting it. Just this morning, I don't know, as we're waiting, I saw that they have begun a situation where I think they are distributing bicycles to some students in the Upper East region. We know.
You saw it?
I think it's in one of the papers.
Okay.
Okay. Then all of a sudden, roads that were never constructed, all of a sudden, day and night, and it happened during the last number of what do you call it, by-elections. Okay. The genuineness for me is that why is it that a week before the elections in Talensi, 3 or 4 contractors are mobilized and they are working with floodlights in the night. The day the elections hold and it's over, all the contractors are demobilized. Okay. I don't have a problem about, for instance, okay, I have worked with the SRC in Legon. There are number of students there who need to transfer their votes from wherever.
So you are transferring votes to Legon?
Oh, the students must transfer their votes. They are Ghanaians. They must vote. If there is something I can do as an MP to facilitate it, I will do it. Okay. It is part of my responsibility. There's absolutely nothing wrong about that. But what I think is wrong and what it's so obvious is that when
the election year,
the day of the week to the elections, the president goes and I am hearing, for instance, we can also 3 towns outlaw politicians until community roads are fixed. Mark my words. Next week, the contractors will be there and they'll be working night and day. Didn't you? I will ask. Was this planned? No.
Let me tell you about this road. This
I am only
given is already on contract.
Oh, you are speaking to it?
Yeah, it's been given.
Let him make his submission.
Yes, I want to help him.
I think you should allow me to make
this people is a premature, and I will.
Oh, really? The people say don't come and campaign there, otherwise they'll beat you up.
I checked before coming here, right? The roads have been given on contract. It's the contractor who has to mobilize to go on. And I think they are just like this morning we were talking about your road, right? People would demand road even to the opt-in hour. If they would demand, so that should not be because of votes.
But you see, I think that I am making my point. Every year, government wants to help people with outboard motors. Does it really happen?
Yes.
How many outboard motors go out? Why is it that in this election year, there is a special effort to quadruple the number of outbound motors that
government should not work.
The distribution events.
Government should not work.
I think you should allow me. Why is it that
you find it quite curious and interesting?
Yeah. Why is it that in an election year,
Yes.
You see, it will be good for you to have the statistics.
It's I find it curious and interesting.
From 2013, 2014, 2015,
yeah,
we can find out how many outbound motors was given at a subsidized cost to
I think so.
to farmers. You can find out. Then all of a sudden you'll find out that in 2016, the outbound motors that were giving, that they are giving out, is probably 10 times what has happened.
He has set his own question and has answered it.
I haven't said my question.
You said your own question.
You said you took facts. I also have my facts. Okay. I am saying, but all of us watch what happened in Talency.
You said your whole question.
All of us know what happened. I think the last by-election was in Amenfi, Asakragwa.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Roland. Contractors were on the road.
When you were going there.
1 week to the elections. 12 o'clock in the night, they were using floodlights.
but it's not a week to Ghana's election. It's actually 2 months, 2 weeks.
Yeah, so
We're in 2.5 months or 69 days into the election.
So if you go and find out, well, all of these planned, no, all of these were not planned. But when you do this, only because it is elections.
I don't want to accept
We have 10 weeks to the election.
I don't
It's not a
want to
week.
accept that.
I
don't want to accept that.
Oh, then what do you?
I don't want to accept that. My brother, are you saying that because of election,
Now,
we should stop governance?
No, I haven't said that.
Yeah, so because now
Haven't I said that maybe in 2013?
He said he finds it
Maybe
curious.
in 2013.
No.
Maybe in 2013 they distributed some outbound motors.
Yeah.
Maybe they distributed 50 outbound motors.
Exactly.
In 2014 they distributed maybe another 40.
Yeah.
But with no fanfare.
Then in 2015 they distributed maybe another 40.
With no fanfare.
With no fanfare.
No, all of them.
Then all of a sudden,
Today's
in 2016,
It's about
they
100.
are distributing 1,000 outbound
No,
motors.
the president
no,
And the president is doing the distribution.
No, you see, maybe the demand has become more.
Oh, really? The good people who are watching will determine
The demand
whether
has become
this
more.
constitutes bribery or it is
it's
not bribery.
The demand has
Do you
become
think it's
more.
bribery?
No,
Obviously.
The demand,
It is all politically motivated.
Oh.
Maybe I want to.
You can't call it. You won't call it bribery.
I want. It is all just politically motivated.
It is part
an
of-
attempt to just get votes.
It is part
But
of
you see, really,
social intervention. You see,
Really,
you
for
see,
me,
it's social intervention.
for me,
And you ask, yeah.
I think that maybe those things used to happen in the past. Really and truly, I want to credit the ordinary Ghanaian. I really and truly want to credit the ordinary Ghanaian. The ordinary Ghanaian has become a lot wiser from
Exactly.
1992.
Exactly.
And in 1992, people were given animal.
NML.
No.
Yeah.
The things that is
Bentua.
used to Bentua. To what?
I can't say. NML.
That is.
Bentua, your friend is saying the bro food didn't cry there.
exaggeration.
Oh.
It is total
Huh?
exaggeration.
Me and you, look.
Total
Ade,
Obviously,
exaggeration.
stranger.
Ade, you see, Ade, I want to remind Ade, in 1992, me and you were doing MPP politics
Yes, yeah,
in
but
Dansoman
it was
together. We were on the same.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
really?
Oh, yeah,
yes, yes,
definitely.
But then you know him from way back.
Oh.
Oh, but total exaggeration. You see, it's
You
total
see,
exaggeration.
today-
In 1992, total exaggeration. Or now it's total exaggeration.
Well, MPP was not giving out. Probably, I didn't see any MPP person giving a Bentua. That's what I said. There's exaggeration.
I am
when
saying
I was
that.
there, I didn't see that. So
I
I
am
cannot
saying
attest
that.
to something that I haven't seen. We are in modern times. Now, I'm saying is social intervention, continual governance in continuation, government doing its job, its project.
So in 2013,
I remember very well
2013
President
you
Kufuor.
do.
I remember very well President
2013
Kufuor.
you share out 50.
Listen,
2014 you
see,
share out 40.
I remember
2015
very
you share out
well-
another
But-
40. Then this time you are sharing out another 500.
I remember very well President Kufuor cutting the sword from here 3 times. 208 here, this road, circle to Ufanko, they cut the sword 3 times when the election was coming.
Yeah,
give
because
them vote.
maybe they were in 3 lots. No, one contractor does it from here to there. One contractor does
Actually,
it
the
from
first one was from Circle
Exactly.
to, is it Achimota.
Yeah, they cut the sword. Then the next one they cut the sword.
So there are 3 contenders.
I'm just telling you.
I think it was from Circle to Achimota.
I'm just telling you.
Then they did the other
President
one.
Kufuor was not buying votes.
I remember
he was doing his job.
I attended one.
He was doing his job. You see, President Kufuor was not buying votes. He was doing his job.
Yeah. You are not saying he was buying votes.
No, I'm not saying he's buying votes. I'm saying he's doing his job. We should desist from reading into government.
So you're saying that each time it's done in an election year, it means it's vote buying.
The government,
which should not be.
The tenure of the government hasn't come to an end.
All right, so that'll be it for the morning. Imano Chamanting is Member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wagon constituency. Thanks for joining me.
I'm happy to be here. Thank
yes,
you. But you see, me and Chairman, we have a big case with you guys.
And then we'll do it. And then also Joseph Ni Adekoka is the Chairman for NDC Greater Accra, Chairman 1. Unofficial cabinet position.
Legit chairman.
Chama. Okay, so we're taking a break. When we come back, Becky will be here. Cha Woman will be here with a lot more entertainment. Just stay on.